6:55 p.m. Central Time at Higdon and Hale for the Merriam Drainage District meeting. Do you have a code to get in?
Is it locked?
Yeah. Thanks for walking around. There's new parking reserve signs. Sounds like different companies are at war with each other over who gets parking spots. I'm your guinea pig.
You check the door first.
Oh yeah. It's not the first time it's locked. Is this the Higdon back door?
I've never gone out that way.
Hey, it's open.
Okay. He's already there.
Oh, I hope it's the right office, otherwise we're trespassing. Here we go. He's gonna wonder how we got in so quick.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just don't take this for a minute, that's all.
sorry.
We did. Yes, that's what we're telling our clients. I have a week to get to an extension done.
Oh, I said hello. And I was like, did you not hear what I said? Maybe you heard what I said.
No.
No.
Trying to get all the other stuff out.
Signature down there? Going good. Where do you recommend the EPA certification at? I think I've got mine.
You might be able to take it online, I don't know.
Yeah.
I took mine through, we were at Lennox at the time, and so Lennox just had it.
Supply houses that do it.
Maybe Johnson.
Yeah, they're one of them. The prices vary a lot though, so.
Looking at, getting into the business, or?
Well, it'd just be handy. And working in computer environments, data centers, there's often a lot of air conditioning equipment.
Yeah.
And it's one that's called enough to subcontract out. So.
The only reason you need it is to purchase the Freon, you really don't.
Just take it a nickel.
It did.
I think there's a couple of
Take it off the bill.
right? Like one of the tools work on our 22. No? You can get that.
Why are we ordering more rubber? Because they should. They're somewhere in this office. Binder clips and rubber bands are somewhere in the office. It opens doors. Oh, I hate staplers. I hate them.
I probably had to show mine.
We scan everything in
Twice.
And then you pull the staple out, then dog ear trying to get it through there, trying to rip the staple out. We scan in all our clients' out. So you should hear it. 11 o'clock, I'm scanning. Probably cost it. Small children.
The A is like automotive and the D is like ice things and industrial and weird stuff. Yeah. But
Don't need it, we don't need it.
everybody. It's 7 o'clock. Welcome to the monthly meeting. We'll get started with the approval of minutes of March 3. I've got a chance to review. I've got any concerns.
I reviewed them for
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of March 3. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And we'll turn it over to Steve.
Are you done?
I'm done. I'm sorry.
I guess we'll start with groundhogs. The traps were placed within a week or two of the last board meeting, and I asked for an update yesterday, and have learned that they have caught groundhogs on at least 4 days. I don't know if that was one per day or there were multiple, but they did catch groundhogs on 4 separate days. So that's going smoothly. No reports of any issues with the traps being tampered with or moved or anything. So everything appears to be going well. Not much to report on the core project. The regularly scheduled meetings have been canceled due to illness on various members' parts, so I don't have any update for you guys there, other than I am attending a meeting tomorrow at the Tour's office, where they're essentially going to review the plans and see if there are any adjustments they want to make based on what they see. So they go through this process that'll be incredibly well documented, I'm sure, where they'll review kind of the design, which is based on all their internal standards, and decide if they want to deviate from any of their standards because there's essentially not very much risk to it. I'll be attending for half a day tomorrow. So that's all I have on the core project. And then I did meet with Max Rickey after the last month's meeting on site, kind of stepped them through everything we wanted to get done. I checked with them also yesterday, and they haven't done. They are working to schedule. They haven't. Am I logging out there?
Yeah.
They said they were still working to schedule it.
And in your opinion, is that part of the creek? Is it going up?
I think we should have any problems with the wall. They're going to repair, and then they're removing trees. The second thing is the homes.
And remind me where along Turkey Creek is that? Where you're looking at?
And it is on the west bank north of the farmer's market. It's hard to see from the trail because it's on that side, but you can see it bulge out if you're driving this way.
Going back to the groundhogs, are those live traps pretty much in the same spot as they were last year?
I did tell them to place one behind your business because you've mentioned at the meeting you've seen one scurrying around, so there should be one there.
Yeah, it's actually behind Casey Strings. And there's 4 of them back there. One there, 2 behind the car lot, and 1 behind the fence behind the strip buildings that I've seen. I think the high winds are often setting off the traps, nothing in them. Because I've seen them close. I walk down there about every other day. I've seen them closed many times. But I've also seen groundhogs in them. I don't doubt that they've caught the for groundhog. So,
Have you seen any groundhogs where you haven't seen traps? Because I could have them.
I mean, there's one on down behind me, but I think the one that keeps these strings back there on the rocks is probably gonna. I think it's in a good place. He's put them under brush and he's done a good job setting.
Okay.
All right, anything else? All right, thank you. Jim?
Nothing I can report.
Joe?
On the financials through the first quarter, just getting through those for the May meeting, have those caught up. I think the big, excuse me, for us to start thinking about 2026 is our budget for 2026, because that'll be creeping up on us before we know it. Already, May and by June and July we'll have to be able to get any projects and anything figured out, get what our budget is, so we meet what the county deadlines are. We're going to start late July, early August. So it's not too far away to think about if there are any other projects or anything that we need to do to account for, other than what our normal expenditures have been the past several years with the core project putting everything else on hold. So that would be the next thing to think about.
Do you anticipate or have you heard of anything that this going around as far as budget goes?
Not that I've heard of.
Rules or anything?
Not that I've heard. I'll have to go look and see, but I've not heard or anything that they've passed anything that would do it. There were bills and discussions about capping increases for tax purposes at a certain level. That would be different from whatever the appraised value is. Your tax value, assessed value could only go up so much here. I don't know if that's made it anywhere yet or not. So we'll have to look and see where they're at in the list. I think anything, I'll look and see, because I think anything that's going to be considered would already have to be out on the table for discussion. It reached that point in the legislature where I think I don't know that there are any of those.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing else that I have.
Okay. Thank you. Next order of business will be approval of bills presented for payment. I didn't have any issues, but you guys stop me. Make a motion to approve the bills as presented for payment. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Basketball parties tonight? Yeah, Yeah. That is something like that.
Yep.
Right. So for the bills, next, any new business? Our next meeting will be May 5th. Seeing everybody in, if there's nothing further, I make a motion to adjourn at 7:10.
Second.
All in favor?
Last meeting yet.
11 minutes, sounds pretty good.
The only one I go to that I don't need to plug in a charger is my laptop. Otherwise, that battery is
Thanks for a quick meeting.
The what? On the you watch it?
Yeah.
You're one of the 10
We'll work for cookies.
I was in all the place like 10
Is this right there where they're gonna end up?
You don't have to watch the whole thing.
I watched some more.
It's just an interesting meeting there. Yeah, the council meeting the day before.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's
We went all the way around.
It's new.
Yeah.
Take a shortcut.
You know, but there's a reason that they didn't want that the very visible council meeting.
For a midnight snack, I'll work my way into
Trying to
the
meet Natalie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I should remember who Natalie is.
Send out my email.
The ward council person?
Yeah.
That's Whitney and there's another Natalie in there. Yeah,
12 o'clock.
Whitney
You
and
can't put all your stuff together.
Amy
You can't put in all your stuff.
and Jason, District 1, along with Jacob.
That's good to shed some light on.
Yeah. I understand that the plans are all preliminary, but I would certainly like to see, like, have the actual PDF, so I can thumb through it. The planning commission PDF very often do include, like, the renderings and the blueprints. I got to see inside Cinemark. You know they're redoing Cinemark?
I didn't know that.
They're making a bowling alley, of all things. But taking half the theaters out, putting bowling lanes in. They're going to redo the remaining theaters to be more like a
So
luxury.
it'll be a double. It will be bowling alley and.
Theater. Yeah. And there's like a bar. It's going to be an open bar, like an alcohol bar.
Yeah.
And a restaurant. They wanted to make it less just about movies. Yeah. Because one of the still, it's a different time. You know, now COVID has changed the way everyone operates.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to bowl,
So many of those.
Yeah.
It's like
Well, their auditoriums are built very cozy, or close together, you know, and that's not so popular anymore. So the new ones are going to be like double seats, spaced apart, double seats, maybe only like 30 or 40 seats per theater, you know, but like they'll have like food to the seat where you can order and get it, you know.
Golf tournament
So
plan.
they're trying to up the ticket price, no doubt.
Dirty, which you got about 12 teams go off.
The planning commission agendas usually include like the blueprints and stuff, so you can actually see, you know, even like parking layout, drainage plans. If you're curious how the drainage is going to be in these giant lots when they refurbish it, and like everything's going through like two spots.
Put the team
you're supposed to
over
give
on
us a heads up when they
do that.
Yeah.
One of the guys. Well, is anybody else using
I always bring up with Brian, Brian's the co-guy for the head of the department in Merriam. Like, there's all this permeable surface. Why isn't there like a detention vessel of some sort, like a tank or like a pond, but that takes up a lot of space, you know? But something that time releases it out.
Yeah.
And the answer's always,
You have to ask the
where's
question.
the time release? That'll cause a flood down the road. I'm like, that seems like the most BS answer.
Yeah, I know, like behind the dealership. One of the dealerships they have retention.
Yeah, retention. Yeah. The rental parkway. There's a big pond behind that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
I've seen that fill up.
Got me out of the office to go get him a little bit ago when I
But
went to the
yeah, I
post
mean,
office.
there's a reason for
the high
Yeah.
need.
Yeah, I always get the answer that if there's a time delay release, that will cause a worse flooding problem. But that seems like the most impossible to believe to me. you know.
It doesn't make sense.
So, I understand they're expensive too, so like telling the company they have to build a structure to retain water is a cost.
Yeah.
But there's not that much permeable surface in Merriam. So like when there's rain, it all goes in, rushing into the creek, and then we complain that the creek floods, you know. And there's all the businesses uphill from us too, so.
Right, exactly.
It is difficult to manage, and even in my neighborhood, like, I get to thinking, God, I wish I could just drain my gutters right out into the street and get that water away, but then that is just further hurting the problem.
Yeah,
We have,
everybody did that, it'd be a problem.
in the back of our neighborhood, there's several houses that flood. The backyard's got like standing water, like 3 inches.
Mm-hmm.
And the city said, is anyone's basement leaking? Because if not, we don't want to hear about it. But the neighbors are actually, you know, irritated that they can't use their backyard for like a day after a rainstorm.
Yeah.
But the developers, when they filed their plans for our neighborhood, filed for over-the-ground drainage, and the city approved it, and it was just intended to be like a flooded area.
Yeah.
So, but they want that water out quicker, you know. But I told them, hey, you could functionally do it if you pipe that off to the city sewer, but
Yeah,
you know, I don't know what kind of permit they need or engineering. But
Never know.
yeah.
We'll see you next month.
Have a nice one. I can exit through the back.
Yeah, thank you. Hang in there.
Yeah, have a week. Week and a half.